Because every time they distract you with their games, you are playing into the games. Think about it. Every time you're distracted with GTA or 2K, you are playing into the game. You are giving them more money. You are wasting more of your time that you could be spending on yourself onto their world that they made up. And we got to understand, this is a world that they literally made up. All right, y'all? This whole agenda, this all came from their mind. Do you not see how much they're not going with nature? So what they're creating is not natural. So what they're creating is not reality, because nature is reality. Understand what's going on? They are trying to recycle your soul. How do they have you recycle your soul? A lot of people don't understand that the reason that they the tactic that they're using to recycle your soul is to keep you attached to here. If you have so many attachments to earth, if you have so many attachments to the 3D, you will stay here. You have too much attachments here. You have too much karma here. You're going to have too much stuff to work out. This is why it's so important that people emphasize to vibrate high and connect with your higher self. Because when you connect with your higher self, you detach yourself from this 3D. So then when it is your time, you don't need to have your soul recycled here. Because now you are separated from anything to keep you here. It's like you're putting weights. It's like you're putting weights on your ankle, and you're not be able to swim up to the next dimension because you got all these weights on you. That's why it's so important to work out your karma. This is why it's so important to connect with yourself and start and do everything to vibrate higher. You that are holding yourself back. So we got to understand, people, the necessity, the biggest thing. If we really want to get out of this, if we really want to separate, if this is really awakening, we need to do what we need to do with ourselves. We need to stop making it seem like it's such a outer worldly thing that we can have our own shit, that we can be on our own. We've been so supported on the system that we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we can have our own land and govern ourselves. We don't believe that we can stand on our 10 toes when it comes to law and education, because we grew up on looking up to these older people with degrees and these politicians, that these are superior people. But we got to understand the reason why these people are superior is because of the labels and perspective that we put upon these people. We said this person's a president. We said this person's a mayor. The government gave them these type of terms on what they're allowed to do. But at the end of the day, that's just a label. That's just a label that anybody could give to anybody. That's not real. These egotistical labels that they give upon these people aren't real. This is not who they really are. These are just names and acts that they're supposed to play. This whole thing is a movie. Why do you think Hollywood and LA is the main spot for all this shit to go on? Because all of these people is actors, and all the people are acting all part of one play agenda in their own movie that they've written from beginning to end. If we want to stop this, if we want to disconnect, if we really want to grow from this, we need to separate from the fucking act. We need to decolonize our mind. We need to stop putting on their uniforms. We need to stop going by their perspective on their story, because we're not going to beat them in their own game. One example I like to play is like, all right, let's say you in the game in GTA, right? But in the game of GTA, you have a realization that you're in the Xbox, right? Or you're trying to exit the Xbox through the GTA game. You can't exit the Xbox through playing the game. If you want to turn the game off, you're going to have to plug the whole system out. It's the same thing that's going on with what we're going on every day. If we want to really get out of the system, we need to unplug the system completely from our minds. We need to decolonize their perspective on life. We need to completely remove and reteach ourselves the true reasons of life. We need to unplug the game. Literally unplug the Xbox of your mind that's plugged into the system. Unplug the game, step outside and see real life. Because outside right here, when I'm looking at these trees, these plants, this is all real life. This is all reality. Jesus was meditating. And if Jesus wasn't, there was no Jesus when Jesus was around, because he was the only Jesus. Who was Jesus meditating to? And let me tell you something about all your religious people. Jesus was never telling you to be Jesus. Jesus was never telling you to worship him. He was promoting, if you want to just go by the story of Christianity, I'm trying to go through your perspective. He was promoting enlightenment. He was telling you what to be enlightened. He was never telling you to worship me to become enlightened. He never said that. Did Jesus say make a church in my name and this is how you get to the higher level of heaven? He never said that. Y'all took that and make it this whole egotistical thing. If you want to go through the whole Jesus perspective, Jesus was showing you how to connect with self. Jesus was showing you alchemy with nature. Jesus was showing you all these things. Jesus did not say, make a Christian Catholic church and all y'all have wars over me and this is how you get to heaven. Did Jesus say that? Tell me the fuck if Jesus said that shit. If you are a person that is religious, you better be learning about the certain language that the Bible was first written in. You need to stop going off of these revised versions of the Bible. Was that person appointed by God himself to revise that Bible that now you're putting trust? You would think that it's such a holy book, you wouldn't take nothing revised. You need the raw, untouched. Stand too. Y'all reading the revised version of the Bible, right? This revised version of the Bible you're reading is from a perspective of a person that was living in a time of terror. Why are you trusting that revised version? They're revising it for the time that they were in. The time that they were in was corruption, pedophilia, and rape. So the perspective of the revised Bible that you're looking at is going to be through that perspective. Did you know that King James put witches in the Bible because he had a personal experience with witches? So this goes to show you that there is personal opinions that is put into this book, and it's not all completely from what was written. It was taken as a foundation. Why do y'all go so hard for this book if this shit ain't even the original book? Then too, y'all reading the revised version of the Bible, right? This revised version of the Bible you're reading is from a perspective of a person that was living in a time of terror. Why are you trusting that revised version? They're revising it for the time that they were in. The time that they were in was corruption, pedophilia, and rape. So the perspective of the revised Bible that you're looking at is going to be through that perspective. Did you know that King James put witches in the Bible because he had a personal experience with witches? So this goes to show you that there is personal opinions that is put into this book, and it's not all completely from what was written. Why do y'all go so hard for this book if this shit ain't even the original book? But y'all are so stuck on the European perspective of Jesus. Come on, y'all. You're seeing so much churches, 10, 15 churches in one town. Why the fuck the town still broke? Why the fuck there's still killings and shit like that? God damn, y'all church ain't working. This Catholic Christian shit ain't working for y'all. I'm sorry. How the fuck there's 200 mass shootings going on in America and we got the biggest when it comes to the church and all this shit, all this religion? God damn, your shit not working, yo. I'm sorry. What you should believe in, I'm knocking the agenda on programming onto what they're trying to make you believe in. Because what you're feeling is real. You're feeling that spirit. When you talk about God, when we go in a black church and they ain't giving all that energy, yelling, they feeling that real spirit, but they are manipulating your perspective on spirit so they can manipulate where you go with that spirit. They need to control your destination with spirit. So they're going to control your perspective on spirit. So understand what you feeling is real. What you feeling is real. But the agenda and the programming that they got is not real. And that's just a fact.